For a number of years now, work has been proceeding in order to bring perfection to the crudely conceived idea of a transmission that would not only supply inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal grammeters. Such an instrument is the turbo encapsulator. Now, basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it is produced by the modal interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive directance. The original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panametric fan. The latter consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus O delta type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator, every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible termi pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the grammies. The turbo encapsulator has now reached a high level of development, and it's being successfully used in the operation of nopertrunnions. Moreover, whenever a fluorescent spore motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal repleneration.
All right, so this is the can-can drill. Just gonna kick back and forth. Don't worry about your arms, just keep them by your side, on your thigh. So when you kick, your spine is going to be tipping back to the target, and your leg kick is going to pull your spine back and forth. All right, so when we kick, you should feel the rear knee wanting to bend. It kind of gets pulled by the kick, your center of gravity. So as it's coiling up, it's being released. So it's just going to go into rotation because it was stretched. And so when you're kicking, it should be kind of diagonal. Where you're creating power. You're not trying to manipulate your leg, you're trying to swing it. Big kick, almost taking you off balance, almost like you were going to do a backflip. You should pull your foot off the ground. So if you're creating enough kick, it's going to drag the back foot. Boom. So looking from behind. See how the kick is coming inward. So that's creating internal torque. What the sign does is bounces it back out. But everybody's just stepping over like that, and you're not creating any torque. It's just falling over. Boom. So now this is the double dragon where we add the arms in, following the leg kick. So you're wagging the arm behind. Kicking harder and letting go. You gotta be loose. It's like long toss drill in baseball. The looser and longer you can get, the longer you're gonna throw. And that's all throwing backhand is just a mirrored version of a baseball pitch. The sidearm, which is forehand. So everything just mirrors back and forth. When you're talking about baseball and like what a power pocket would be, it's when the arm is all the way laid back, so they're in max external rotation of the shoulder and the arm is supinated. And then you're coming and releasing that, all that torsion going into pronation. Boom. Backhand is the mirrored version. So for a power pocket, your shoulder's gonna be internally rotated and you're gonna be pronated. So like this, and this is what you'll see a lot of players just hanging loose in this position. So everything is automatically coiled here. And everything just whips out. So if you're going into the, coiling into the power pocket, it's like screwing a jar or unscrewing a jar. And then the outward motion is actually like screwing it back down, but instead of the elbow going back, everything unscrews that way. So there should be a little levitation coming in to kind of coil and the load, and then it's almost like pushing down on the disc on the way out. But everything levels out. It's not, this is just an exaggeration. Everything happens so fast, it's just a much smaller motion. So let's take a look at Ante here, who's the Finnish distance record holder at 199 meters or 653 feet. So this kid knows how to throw pretty far. Now let's watch the arm action here. He's going into internal shoulder rotation and pronation, so he's holding the disc vertical there. And now he's gonna twist his arm completely in the opposite. He's gonna flip vertical the opposite way, going into external shoulder rotation and supination into the top of the backswing. So he's gonna lift the disc here, and now it's gonna twist back in, internal shoulder rotation and pronation. And here he's pushing down and unscrewing. Boom. That disc is gone.